Marfoogle News going live in 3. All right, what is going on, guys? It is Adam, a.k.a. Marf, and this is Marfoogle News. We're going to go over some really important stuff today, including an update to the Doomsday Clock. If you haven't followed, we've actually gone over every single update for the last 7 or 8 years now, and every time that we've updated it, I don't think it's ever gone backwards, right? The Doomsday Clock is based on, I don't want to mess up the description of it, but essentially some of the smartest people in the world have gotten together. They do this group. They've done this since before I was born, and they essentially look at everything, including where the world is, geopolitics, what the situation is with different countries, and they essentially guess on how close we are to a man-made disaster or to our own destruction. They have just moved it up to 85 seconds away from midnight. Now, as far as this goes, obviously a lot of people are talking about the US dollar collapsing. We have actually in this last week, we've looked at gold and silver, and most of that is because China is buying it up like there is no tomorrow, which again brings us back to this Doomsday Clock. Again, here's how they put it, is a symbolic timepiece showing how close the world is to ending. Atomic scientists reset the Doomsday Clock every January. Midnight marks the theoretical point of annihilation. Apocalyptic threats could arise from the political tensions, weapons technology, climate change, or, of course, the illnesses that could be spreading. The clock's hands are moved closer or further away from midnight based on the scientists' reading of the existential threats. Now, I don't know where a lot of these scientists, lie. Some of them could be saying, I'm leaving the U.S. if this guy is my president. They could be saying, let's get Ash in there and take everybody out. Who knows what side that all of these guys are on? Again, politics fits into almost everything now and today. But they did say that the human race is at its closest point yet to destroying itself, according to the reset of the ominous but symbolic Doomsday Clock. Metaphorical clock now stands at 85 seconds to midnight after advancing 4 seconds since last year's reset. I think it's, part of me says it's almost silly, the 4 seconds up, I mean, they could literally, over the next 5 years, they could put it at 5 seconds to midnight and then put it at 4 seconds to midnight and then 3 seconds to midnight to make a point. 85 seconds. Every year we look at this and go, okay, what the hell does that mean though? Like we're a minute and a half away from, midnight. We're 2 minutes from midnight. We're 5 minutes from midnight. Okay, what does that mean, right? But again, we are in a place right now where a lot of folks are actually looking at this and going, holy crap. It seems funny that this always gets reset right in January, right as almost everything is just going down like we've never seen. It's like every single year it is at a time when we have multiple kind of bad things happening all at once. So they definitely picked a good point to reset it. Now, before we go for any further, I do want to remind you guys, make sure to go check out marfooglenews.com/EMP. If any of the worst case scenarios happen, again, 80% of the actual war simulators actually show that they are looking at preparing for a potential attack on our country, an attack on our grid. That would be done by another country with the capabilities like Iran, China, Russia. Pretty much every one of our adversaries has the ability to EMP us. If you want to protect your vehicles, your cars, trucks, motorcycles, boats, generators against that, then you want to get an EMP shield on it. This is not tech you can buy in the store. You have to buy it from the same company, again, that is outfitting DHS, DOW, FBI, Air Force, and many more secretly. Go over to marfooglenews.com/EMP and make sure to use the code MARF. That will get you $50 off, which is grandfathered in per device. That means if you want to outfit multiple cars or a car, a truck, and a house, a generator combo, whatever you want to do, you can do that with that code and help us out at the same time. marfooglenews.com/EMP and make sure to use the code MARF. That way your car or device will work after, again, an EMP or a CME, a Carrington level event from the sun hits. All right, let's bring in my co-internet brother, Dex James. What is going on and how are you doing today?
Well, hello, Adam, and hello, Foogle fam. I'm doing just fine.
So there is also the same day that they're updating this, we have a C-40 Clipper known as the War Room, mobile war room flying around. Do you want to talk about that? And I'll pull up a picture of what we're talking about.
Yeah, so it is spotted leaving Washington, D.C. as the unrest is gripping the nation. So the U.S. Air Force Boeing C-40B Clipper is currently flying west after departing Washington, D.C. Tuesday morning in an undisclosed mission. The aircraft, often described as an airborne war room or the flying office, is used to transport high priority personnel, including cabinet members, combat commanders, and senior military leaders. It also provides secure global communication capabilities for VIP transport and special missions. Flight tracking shows the Clipper leaving Camp Springs, home of Joint Base Andrews. The aircraft was going through the Midwest over Missouri and Kansas. There was no public destination listed where it was actually going or what VIPs might be on there. Officials have not explained the purpose of the flight. The cross-country journey comes amid widespread protests across the U.S. cities, and the demonstrations have intensified significantly in Minneapolis, given everything that's been going on there. So some were speculating maybe there was somebody important moving across there, or they were moving this plane for other various reasons. But flight tracking data like Flight Radar 24 and ADBS Exchange confirmed the Clipper. It's currently, at the time this was writing, it was currently airborne at 34,000 feet. Such departures can involve routine repositioning, such as ferrying the aircraft to a Western base for maintenance or staff transport, or set up for a future pickup in congressional or DoD support travel, outside of the other things we already mentioned earlier. So could be anything, but I guess it warranted attention.
Yeah, and I wonder if they were transferring anybody from one place to the next. This was again the ADSB, the flight tracker, showing that it was essentially doing kind of a straight shot across. So what the heck is going on here? Again, we don't know. One thing we do know is we've been covering over the last couple of days, something has been going on in China. There is, of course, a shakeup in their military. There was a claim that there was a huge coup, right? They said that there was a claim that 3,000 people were arrested, that there was some sort of move on Xi Jinping. None of that was verified. Again, it is hard to verify anything out of China because they clamp down on all information. What was verified is that there's questions about the second right-hand man to Xi Jinping, the second most powerful person as far as the military goes, ended up replaced, and there's questions that he ended up selling secrets, nuclear secrets of China, to the United States. So at the same time that they're shaking up this board right underneath Xi Jinping, there's potential questions that the U.S. was involved. At the same time, there's rumors that they tried to take Xi Jinping out, that they tried to do some sort of coup, which they have basically said we don't have evidence. There's no debunk, though. There's no proof that they didn't do it. And we do know that if you look at it, if they just covered it up, well, then there would possibly be some stuff going on. Well, that's exactly what some are saying. This is a video. They said let me make sure that that's off. Gosh, that is annoying. All right, so let me make sure. Let me mute this real quick, because it is very loud Chinese music. And if you look at this guy's dashboard, I don't know what kind of car it is, but it's got this like wood dashboard, and it looks like it's from the 1960s like Get Smart show. All right, so let me show you this. All right, so this is the video right here. Let me zoom out here, and you'll see that there's this convoy, and they say that it's heading towards the Capitol. So some are saying that there's something going on. You'll see right here. This is what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at this dashboard. What the heck kind of car is that? Do they just have really old cars over there? That's a wood grain. Pretty cool car, to say the least. But the fact that there may be some sort of convoy heading towards the Capitol, why? The point here is that there is something militarily going on with China right now. You have, of course, Japan, something I've said you got to watch Japan. Japan is putting out news today as well that is very alarming. We'll go over that on our next show. But this is something that, you got to pay attention to, because obviously at some point in the next year, they say that they may be taking Taiwan. Taiwan is one of the biggest things to happen to our planet. Everything else is related to it, from Iran, North Korea, South Korea, Russia, Iran, Venezuela. All of it is connected with China. China, which is trying to take that number one spot. We'll go over a lot more over on our second show, again over on Marfoogle TV, our full-length show. Somebody asked why there is 2 shows. That is because this is a short shareable clip that you can share with your friends, and it has some of the most important stuff on it, so you don't have to sit for an hour to get to it. All right, you guys, join us for our full-length show, and I hope that you guys pop over. We'll see you over there in just a minute. Be safe, be prepared, and Marf out.